Morning and win forever. My name is Tommy Pastor, Peace Ark Ministry. All right, so a very quick one. I'm just happy, very, very happy and elated about the way people are speaking up right now about Prophet TB Joshua is live on times. While he was here with us, I'm so optimistic that the future of Christianity is gonna be very bright because before now, because of all the allegations and a lot of stuff, that was said about his person, people bluntly refuse to be identified with him. So they rather do that in the closet, rather do that in the private. But, openly, they won't mention his name, they won't talk about him and all that. But they've come to realize that those things are nonsense. The people that were fighting him, the people that were doing all that to silence him, where are they? Where are they today? No way. So I am so happy that a lot of pastors, men of God today, have taken up courage and bravery to stand on the altar and said, "Man, this man was from God." They're not just keeping it to themselves, but they're also putting it up there. So I've seen a lot of pastors, come across a lot of videos of pastors, men of God, talking about the Prophet TB Joshua, pointing to one thing or the other that people, that other men of God that hated him didn't want us to see, didn't want us to hear. They are really bringing that now to the bare light. Okay, so I have a series of videos I'm going to play for you, but let's listen to what this pastor say. In the next episode, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to show you what another pastor have to say as well, okay? So good morning and win forever. Let me see you in the next episode, and also, don't forget to always comment when you're done, okay? So let's listen to what this pastor have to say about Prophet TB Joshua. See you in the next episode. Love y'all.
I told you about one of the greatest men of God I fear, that I was privileged to see in my time. God save Prophet TB Joshua of blessed memory. This is a man anointed by God powerfully, and people look at him and they're asking, but how come this man is so graced by God? Nobody can explain dynamics of the operation of Prophet TB Joshua's calling. At a point, some people who lack spiritual discernment began to call him a false prophet because they cannot understand how the unlearned is having these depths of word in the scriptures, to the point where when he speaks to you, it is the words he speaks, they are spirit and life. A man will just come and start talking about love, and you start seeing evil spirits leaving people. He will come and talk about faith in Jesus, and you will see people crying, breaking down in tears, travel to nations filled with white men, and he will enter into those nations, jump back a stadium. White men do not joke with their schedule, but he will keep them from morning till evening, and nobody will have the eagerness to leave the stadium on account of a man who has appeared with God. Why was God so much interested in that man, Prophet TB Joshua? He had the spirit of brokenness. When it comes love, you see love. Listen to me, I believe that one of the men in this world that I saw, I will not say what I have not seen, maybe others lived before I was born, but one of the men I've seen in this world, there are two of them. The first that represents the true character of Christ, that has assumed the spirit of brokenness, is Prophet TB Joshua of blessed memory. And in our days now, it is Prophet Kevin Obiga. Am I talking to somebody here? These are men that when they come, you see humility, you see love, you see brokenness, you see compassion for souls and passion for God. Then some people will rise and they say Prophet TB Joshua is fake. Then I ask, with all your depth in God's word, how come you lacked discernment to see that this man is of God? I beg of you, and I tell you today, many people owe Prophet TB Joshua an apology. When we enter heaven, we apologize to that man, because the way the world stood against him and insulted him, it is because they have not yet understood that dimension of God called brokenness. So the insult rained down on Prophet TB Joshua was based on the ignorance of the world in the aspects of brokenness, because if the world knew what it meant to be meek in spirit, they will never insult him. So they saw a dimension that was strange.